All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we're going to talk about Deontay Wilder's next move, which will be ordered by the WBC. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we're going to be in the heavyweight division again, coming off Deontay Wilder's spectacular win against Robert Helenius. Obviously, the next question is what's going to take place next in the heavyweight division, specifically within the WBC rankings. And the president of the WBC has come up and right away ordered a bout between Deontay Wilder and Andy, I think it's the Destroyer Ruiz. Now, before I get into the details of it, let me welcome you back to the channel. If you are new to the channel, thank you so much for coming by. Please accept my invitation to hit that subscribe button, hit the bell icon so you can be notified of when we release more videos. Also, if you are a longtime subscriber and supporter, thank you so much for your continued support in the live streams, in the super chats, and the cash apps. It really does help the channel go a long way. Shout out to my guy, John Bowie, who was always a big supporter of the channel. Hope you're feeling well and blessed. All right, so let's get into this. A bout that is probably one of the bigger fights that can be made in boxing. Seems like it is going to take it. Chances are it will take place between Deontay Wilder and Andy Ruiz. Deontay Wilder is the former WBC heavyweight champion. Andy Ruiz is a former WBA, WBO, and IBF champion. Got those belts when he had a surprising knockout win over Anthony Joshua a couple years ago and took his belts. In the very next fight, however, he lost those belts when the fight was shifted from New York to Saudi Arabia, I think it was in the Middle East. I'm not sure if it was Saudi Arabia, but it was in the Middle East. Not sure if it was in Qatar or something like that, but it was off in the Middle East. And Andy Ruiz lost that. Ever since then, Andy Ruiz has been, somebody that has been considered a big draw, I guess, in the heavyweight division. And although he had just had a couple fights where he, in my opinion, he didn't look particularly good. He fought Chris Arreola. He had a lot of problems with Chris Arreola. He won the fight with Chris Arreola, but just, really did not look his best against Chris Arreola. He fought Luis Ortiz in his last bout and wound up knocking down Luis Ortiz a couple times, maybe two times. He knocked him down in that bout and got the decision. But other than that, I think Luis Ortiz was outboxing him, and Luis Ortiz was hitting him with really big shots, on a consistent basis. So, the prospects for Andy Ruiz and beating Deontay Wilder is, it's not that good. Now, of course, I think he obviously has a chance, but if there's, one guy that I think would cause Andy Ruiz just ridiculous amounts of problems, it's Deontay Wilder. And I don't think necessarily that Andy Ruiz is somebody that is really going to be causing Deontay Wilder a lot of problems. And let me tell you why. Aside from the very obvious thing with Deontay, which is that he has that very big right hand, and the very obvious thing about Andy Ruiz, which is that usually he gets his combinations off after he gets hit, right? So he likes to punch when people punch, and he likes to and he'll take a good shot and come back with two or three shots. Now, the problem with that with Andy Ruiz and Deontay Wilder is this. One, if that shot lands, Andy Ruiz may not get back up from it. Now, Andy Ruiz I think he does have a good chin, right? Good solid chin. However, I don't think anybody in boxing's chin is that solid, right? Where they're going to be able to take the kind of shots that Andy Ruiz was getting hit by Luis Ortiz with. I don't think he's going to get up from. Same type of shots that he was getting hit with Chris Arreola with. I don't think he's going to get up with Deontay Wilder. And this type of shots got caught with with Anthony Joshua. I don't think he's going to get up from Deontay Wilder landing those type of shots. Also, Deontay Wilder has significantly longer reach than any of the guys that he's fought. And in the last fight, I think what we saw from Deontay Wilder was a good amount of mobility from Deontay. So him being able to kind of stay away from Andy Ruiz and Andy Ruiz following behind him, looking to land stuff, kind of when that motion that Andy Ruiz uses. It's just a matter of time before that right hand drops down on him. And as we saw with Robert Helenius, there really was not. You don't really need very, very much out of Deontay Wilder, from Deontay Wilder to really, really cause you a lot of problems. I don't think that the punch with Deontay Wilder to Robert Helenius, traveled 4 or 5 inches. That punch is about that long. You know what I mean? From the time he cocked that back to the time he hit it with very, very short amount of time. And, so I just don't think that that's going to turn out real well for him. And I'm not alone, because Luis Ortiz was asked about that fight. And Luis Ortiz has fought both of them, fought Deontay Wilder twice, fought Andy Ruiz once. And he was like, look, man, Deontay Wilder will kill that guy. Like, very, 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 very direct to the point, man. He'll hurt that man. Like, just because, and if you remember the Luis Ortiz fight, man, I'm telling you, Luis Ortiz was landing bombs on Andy Ruiz. And, people continually come around with Andy Ruiz and say, it's just rinse and repeat with Andy Ruiz. He's always looking better in training camp, right? He gets out with these he starts working out in black shirts, which make his, black is a slimming color. So, but by the time you get to the fight, he's talking about how much better conditioning he is and all of this and that. And then you see him when he gets to the bout, and he looks the exact same that he looked in any other fight. If he was somebody that was like a very, very committed fighter, a committed athlete, to his physical, to his body and all that, maybe, because I do think Andy Ruiz is I do believe he's a talented guy. I just don't think he's very, very dedicated. And honestly, it really doesn't even matter with Deontay Wilder, because at some point in time, he's going to test that chin. And more than likely, he's going to test that chin a lot. Also, Andy Ruiz is not going to be landing those cuffing right hands to the back of the head. Because honestly, when I was watching the Luis Ortiz fight, man, I know somebody in the box, somebody that is, an official, boxer, let me know, or somebody that is really familiar with the rules, let me know whether or not hitting somebody right here, which is in the back of the head, is a legal punch. But those are the type of shots that he was catching Luis Ortiz with shots that I thought were back to the back of the head. But now again, if he is able to consistently catch Deontay Wilder with things like that, hey man, he may have a chance to win the bout, right? But I don't think that Andy Ruiz is the type of guy that is going to be out there boxing and winning rounds. So he and Deontay Wilder have that same thing going, right? But what I hope happens is that Deontay Wilder gets his wish, and then he goes on and he's able to fight Alexander Usyk. They say Tyson Fury is in talks again with Alexander Usyk to get that bout, but I would hope if that doesn't happen, then Deontay Wilder gets that fight and can go straight for all of those belts versus fighting Andy Ruiz. But anyway, it would be a really big fight. A lot of people would watch, a lot of Mexican fans, a lot of Black American fans, all that stuff would be a good thing. But anyway, that's my take on the matter. You let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Peace.